thank you all for allowing me to be here this evening and stealing about 15 minutes of your time for your PTO meeting. As I mentioned, I'm the director of the foundation. I have actually been involved with HEF for 11 years. I've been an executive director for the past 5 years. This is my 5th year. I'm also a board member prior to that for 3 years, and then a volunteer for 3 years. So the point kind of being is that even though my children have moved on, I'm still in the district. I am a paid employee at this director position. Prior to that, we're volunteers for everything that we do. One thing I want to say before we get going is that we have a constant contact that goes out twice a month. Is everyone familiar with the constant contact? It's kind of like a message that comes out from the foundation and shares all the information about what's going on. If you are so interested in it, not mandatory by any means, and we only will use it for a constant contact, but if you'd like to be included, it'll kind of bring you up to speed about what we're doing at HEF. And HEF impacts everybody. Even though you're here at Meadowbrook right now, we are impacting Meadowbrook, we're impacting North, we're impacting the high school. So everything we do, you will have an opportunity, or your children will have an opportunity to be impacted by it. So I'll pass it this way. If you feel like signing up, that'd be great. The other thing I want to mention too is that we have a website, hopkinseducationfoundation.org, and anything that I mentioned today will be found on that website as well too. Just a plethora of information. Tells you every grant that we've ever awarded, any event that we ever host, any fundraiser, our bylaws, our minutes, our newsletters, anything you want to know about HEF. So, knowing those two things, what is HEF? Are any of you familiar with the foundation? Or most of you? Nope. Oh, good. We have one or two, maybe not so. So HEF has been around since 1995. We are a nonprofit, and everything we do is based on making a difference in the lives of Hopkins Public School students. We basically raise money so we can turn around and fund grants. And we spend a lot of time raising money, and usually they're fun festivities that we do, and then we're able to raise a large amount of money, and our staff at the Hopkins Public Schools submit grant applications to us, and we review them, and then we award grants to all the different schools in the district. So I'm jumping a little bit ahead. We've done 406 grants since 1995. And those grants have gone from Harley Hopkins to the elementaries, to the junior highs, to the high schools, and even we just awarded one to Transitions Plus this last grant cycle. So we're pretty much covering every student within the Hopkins Public Schools, which is really exciting. And you know, there was a time a couple of years ago when we were going through statutory operating debt at the district level, and funds were very limited. And it's kind of when we come to the forefront then, because we have these extra funds to spend on great opportunities in the classrooms to kind of impact, again, our students. So we have 2 grant cycles a year. We just wrapped up our fall grant cycle, and that's when staff has the opportunity to submit grant applications to the foundation. They have a pilot, they have an innovative idea, they have something that they're really excited to bring to their classroom, but perhaps they don't have the funding for it. So what they do is they fill out what we call a concept form and kind of give us a general idea about what their grant would be for. Our committee looks at it, kind of reviews it, makes sure it follows our grant guidelines, gives that applicant some feedback, and then they turn around, if we suggest, and fill out a full grant application. We received 20 grant applications this past fall, and we awarded 15 grants, which we're really excited about. And I was at a PTO meeting last week, and they're like, well, what happened to the other 5? Well, the other 5 didn't even move, 2 of them didn't even move to the grant application phase. So doing that concept form, that single piece of paper, and writing down the staff's idea, gives us a chance to have a conversation with the staff and really tell them, hey, this will work or this won't work, and then they move it on. So our next grant cycle will be in the springtime. The grants, maybe you're wondering how it impacts you here at Meadowbrook. The Bakken Science Museum, did any of your children get to participate in that? That was for the 3rd and 4th graders, I believe, or 2nd and 3rd graders. And it was a great residency we had last spring. The staff at Bakken came in and worked with the students, and then you had a huge day or 2 in your gym, which I actually visited, and all these great activities were happening related to science. Anyone have kindergartners who are, or have had kindergartners who dealt with Stages Theater? Mm-hmm. Stages Theater was coming in 6 to 8 times a year, kind of working with the kids with nonverbal skills and movement and presentation type skills and rhymes and acting. It was just a really good way to show children that they can, you know, bring their voices out, but it doesn't always have to be a loud voice, or it can be, you know, a thoughtful voice or a quiet voice, or it can be a loud voice if it calls for it. So we did that. We also did books for fourth graders last year, where we purchased quite a few books for the fourth graders, that tangible books, because a lot of stuff of what we do, as Rita just alluded to, is electronic based. You know, there's a lot of e-books and iBooks and iPads and computers and so forth, and so we bought tangible books again to share with the students, because that's what your teachers wanted. So we kind of just wait for the ideas to come from the staff, and then we go ahead and fund them. Two of the grants that came out this past fall grant cycle that will impact you are one of the tower gardens. Has anyone heard of a tower garden? It's a growing garden that's actually mobile, and it's on wheels, and they grow basil and cilantro, and they can move this around the school, and it grows within 30 days. So it's almost like a chia pet, where you've got this, this blank slate, and within 30 days there's just food growing out of it everywhere. And so what's kind of fun about that is there's an opportunity to teach kids about nutrition, there's an opportunity to teach cooking skills, there's an opportunity to share the food. And so one of the projects we did was tower gardens. We purchased 4 for the elementary schools, for the 6th graders, and so those are going to rotate over the school year here, and you'll have 2 growing seasons at each school with this tower garden. But it's really cool. They'll be placed in the cafeteria, because we thought all students could see the tower garden then and have questions and maybe pick off some basil and try it. We just want kids to get involved with nutrition. The other thing that we brought to the table was we're going about a big initiative on health and wellness. We know that is really important, that the whole child, that we concentrate on the whole child, not just academics, but making sure they're eating healthy, making sure that their surroundings are comfortable. If they have a tough situation at home, when they come to school, we want them to come ready to learn, and we want to make that as easy as possible for them. So we've purchased a lot of tools for self-regulation, kind of things to help them calm down if they're disruptive in the classroom, because maybe something happened at home and suddenly they're trying to learn and they're in the classroom. So we're purchasing stress balls and breathing balls, and we're going to be hiring yoga calm instructors to come in and teach the students yoga, so that if things get escalated in the classroom, everyone can take a step back and calm down. So lots of different things. Those are just a couple of grants that we've done that we're very excited about, and there'll be many more coming. If you receive our constant contacts, if you are currently, and I know you are, we've identified all 13 grants on that constant contact, so it's kind of fun to see. But on the website, you can see every grant that we've ever awarded, all 406 of them. You can see them by school, by curriculum, or by year. So it's kind of fun to see what we've done. So making sure that I'm keeping on my timeline here. We have a board of directors that basically help us run the foundation. We have 3 paid staff. There's myself, our marketing manager, and our office manager. We're all paid. And then we have a board of 24 volunteers who give their time and talent and dedication. In fact, Solveig just told me that her husband was one of the first members of the board. I didn't put the names together, Sean Brown, way back when. So, as I said, we've been around since 1995, so that's kind of fun. People in your school that have served on the board, Mike Glover, Kristen O'Shea is currently on the board, if anyone knows Kristen. Jen Label is served on our board for 3 years, and now she just came off. Amy Roberts. Who else might? Those are a couple that I'm thinking right now, but basically if you know any of them and you have any ideas, those are people to talk to within your school, because they represent the board. And we get together once a month and talk about opportunities for the district, and we talk about fundraising, which is what I'll go into next. We have a couple different fun opportunities. We have the Rock and Roll event, which takes place in the fall. Anyone attend Rock and Roll this year, this group? It's in downtown Hopkins on Main Street. We had 400 community members attend the event. It's a $10 ticket, and it's outside under the stars. We have a live band, we have music, we have food trucks, we had a beer trailer this year, we have non-alcoholic beverages, and it's just a great way to start the school year, a very reasonably priced ticket, and we bring lots of families together. It's just a good way to make, kind of expose the foundation and what we do, as well as just get the community together at the start of the school year. We also then have gratitude gifts. Has anyone heard of gratitude gifts? Gratitude gifts are when donors make a $25 donation to HEF on behalf of a particular staff member. So for example, if you had made a donation on behalf of Greta for $25 on December 20th, we would come into the school and deliver cookies from Great Harvest Bread to Greta with a little message from you stating that, you're an amazing principal. So it's kind of a fun fundraiser for us. We gave out 571 of these last year. So it's a great fundraiser, but it's also a great way to honor your staff at your school level. And I know everyone likes to do things either at the holidays or at the end of the school year. So this one is for Great Harvest bread, or Great Harvest cookies, and I'll pass those around if you want to grab one. Again, the deadline on that is December 18th to order those, so if you want to do something special. We also have a $5 star card, so if you just want to acknowledge a teacher and don't want to spend $25 but want to do $5, we give them a star card that just says you're doing a great job, and we sign your name and we deliver that to the school as well. So it's a little bit of a fundraiser. We do Give Min, which a lot of schools do. I don't know if your school did Give Min for Give to the Max Day on the 16th? Nothing? Okay, some of the elementary schools focus on that. And then we have our Royal Bash. Has anyone attended the Royal Bash or know about the Royal Bash? That's our big event in February. It's on February 24th this year. It's at the Marriott Southwest. It's been in this neck of the woods before at the Golden Valley Country Club, but that was a couple years ago. Now it's down at the Marriott Southwest. Again, it's a little bit more of a pricey ticket, but everything that we raise at the night of Royal Bash goes to funding our grants. So we typically raise about $185,000, $190,000 at this event. 400 people again attend. For some reason, 400 is a great number for us. And we have a silent and live auction, a sit-down dinner, live music, games, dancing. Again, in February when it's cold and miserable and there's not a lot of things going on, it's kind of a fun night together, everyone together for a fundraiser. So that's a little bit about what we do. We're always looking for volunteers. We know you guys are busy now at the elementary level, but as you transition out of elementary, there are always opportunities at HEF to get involved. You'll find at the junior highs they don't look for volunteers as much as they do at elementary. So if you do love to volunteer and you find yourself finishing up at Meadowbrook and wanting to get involved, our door is always open to get involved. If you do visit our website, you can also maybe like us on Facebook, or basically like us on Facebook. We send out a lot of stuff, and it kind of again gives you information about what the foundation is doing. So that's a little bit about us. Are any questions or ideas or any grants that you've enjoyed or